Now, Photoshop's new web features are actually split between two applications. Some of them appear only inside ImageReady, the web graphics program that's included with Photoshop. Many of the new features appear both inside Photoshop and ImageReady, and at least one new feature of special interest to web designers appears only inside Photoshop. So that's why we're starting inside Photoshop 7 here. Notice that I have a web design open. This is a web design that I've comped inside Photoshop, trying to get a sense of how the elements are going to work together. And there's a lot of text on this page, much of which I'll actually be including in an HTML document. So much of this text will get repeated elsewhere. But right now it's nice to be able to comp the page and see what it looks like. But I would like to make sure that everything is spelled correctly. And inside Photoshop in the past, you've had to go to another program to do your spell checking. You could copy and paste text between Photoshop and a word processor, for example. Now you can check your spelling directly inside Photoshop. Just go up to the Edit menu and notice this command right here, check spelling. Notice it's also dimmed. Why is that? Well, Photoshop is capable of checking the spelling throughout the entire document. However, you have to start with a text layer selected. So I'll go here to the top of my layers palette and notice this set right here, which is called text. I'm going to twirl it open, and inside there are several text layers. I'm going to click on any one of them. Doesn't matter which text layer you select, just so long as a text layer is active. Then go to the Edit menu and choose Check Spelling. And the Check Spelling dialog box comes up. Now notice at the bottom of the Check Spelling dialog box is a Check All Layers checkbox. Lots of checking going on here. And when it's checked, that means Photoshop's going to check your entire document. It's going to check all the layers in your document. If you would rather have Photoshop check the active layer only, turn off the checkbox. That is the most I've ever said check. Anyway, I'm going to turn the check back on here because I want to check everything inside the document. And notice now that Photoshop has immediately come up with a genuine misspelling, which is knowledgeable. Knowledgeable has an E between the G and the A. Okay, great to know. Thank you. I'm going to click the Change button. Now Photoshop moves on to an entirely different layer. Notice that. And it finds Petey. Well, this is Petey's page, and Petey happens to be spelled correctly, even though Photoshop doesn't recognize it. So I'm going to add Petey to my dictionary so it won't bug me about him again. So I'll click Add. Now notice Photoshop comes across PDF, and this is inside yet a different layer. I can see the text highlighted in the background here if I want to, and I'll click Add to add it. Now Haya is a special case. Photoshop offers a spell checker. That doesn't mean it's the most remarkable spell checker on earth. We shouldn't expect word processing results out of it. And in this case, Photoshop has gotten not only the word Haya, which of course is a little colloquial, not necessarily something that we'd expect to appear inside a dictionary, but also Photoshop has managed to get the punctuation. So if I click the Add button, I'm going to add Haya along with the punctuation to the dictionary, and that's not going to do me any good. So I'm just going to click Ignore in this case, and I'm done with my spell check. So I'll click OK, and my text is now good to go. So very nice to be able to have this spell checker inside Photoshop. Also of interest to folks who are working with a lot of text inside Photoshop, there's a Find and Replace text command. So if you want to do a search and replace Petey's name, for example, with Fred or something along those lines, you could do so. All right, so that's how you confirm the spelling of your text.